Hi, my name's Cody Cashmer, and today I'm going to be talking about blasting rocks. For this video, I have a brief little outline. I'm going to go over a quick introduction, related equipment, cost, safety, general use in Texas, and then I'll wrap it up with a summary. So, blasting rock is the process of removing rock or other solid body materials with explosives that are strategically placed in holes. They place them in holes to minimize the fly rock and keep the fracturing of the rock in the designated boundary which you are trying to excavate. The simplest way this technique is carried out is by drilling a hole, filling it with the explosive best suited, connecting all the charges together so they are delayed from one another, then detonating them. Blasting is a technique generally used in quarries, mines, and civil engineering of tunnels, dams, and roads. Some equipment you're going to need for this activity is a drill, preferably to the diameter of your explosive, an air compressor for cleaning out the drilled hole so the explosive has good contact, explosive of your choice, whether it be gunpowder or TNT, detonating cord, modeling clay. Now the modeling clay is used to cap off the holes drilled with the det cord coming out of it to ensure that you get the maximum amount of explosive pressure in the rock, and then a detonator. Now the cost for blasting rock can vary quite drastically. For a square meter of blasting, it can cost anywhere from $3 to $150. This depends on location and proximity to adjacent buildings. However, for smaller drilled holes, it can be more costly, some getting as much as $20,000 a month. Also, it is more cost effective to drill the holes yourself rather than someone else drilling the holes for you. Now, with blasting rocks, there are some obvious safety concerns while using explosives. One is premature detonation. This occurs when you are wiring all the charges together, and if this were to occur, the consequences could be deadly. To mitigate this risk, there is no electrical components out while the charges are being placed or tied together. This also includes anything that produces heat or an open flame. Now, fly rock is another major concern during this operation. This is when rock from the blast is thrown outside the blasting boundary because of high powder factor. This poses a threat to not only those on the blast site, but also surrounding communities. Some fly rock can be thrown as far as 2,000 feet from the blast site. For obvious reasons, PPE is mandatory when blasting rock. Blasting rock in Texas isn't a new concept. Texas has a big use for blasting rocks. Much of the use is in quarries. These quarries can be anything from granite to limestone. They use this method to take large quantities of solid rock and break it up into manageable spoils to load into transport trucks. However, there is also a big use for the construction of new roads that cut through hills and mountains. A prime example of this can be seen on roads that lead to Canyon Lake, Texas, where they cut through the hills rather than going over them. You can see the drilled holes from where they place the charges on the roads whenever you're driving through these cut parts. Now to wrap up this whole video, blasting rock is an effective method to reduce large amounts of solid rock to become easily excavated. This method does require proper diligence to perform it in a safe manner. It can also mitigate costs on projects drastically with not having to rent extra equipment to dig through the rock, but rather blow it up. Now I do have some questions here, and I'll give you the answers so you can pause it real quick and see if you can answer them. What is fly rock? That's rock thrown from the blasting site. Question 2, what is the modeling clay for? It's used to cap off the explosives in the drilled holes. And question 3, what is one-way blasting rock is used for? There are many answers to this: dams, roads, quarries, mines. There are many uses for it. And if you were curious about anything that I've talked about in this video, you can visit any one of these sites where I got a lot of my information from, and thank you.